All right, I can't believe I'm making another video of Mr. Andrew Tate once again. And this time it seems that he is coming down to the US. He's finally going to get freedom from Romania, or he might be coming down to the US or to the UK thanks to Donald Trump, that, Narendra Modi says. Now, what I did is I didn't want to just randomly give some opinions. I read through 23 articles, 23, beginning to the end, took down notes, and try to get proper research material. So, those of you who are for or against Andrew Tate, listen to what I have to say. I've literally written down the notes, okay? And I'll be reading them, and you tell me if I'm wrong, wherever I'm wrong. And I can assure you one thing is some of you will know some of the information, you'll not know some of the information, and some might actually surprise you. So I'll go through it. You let me know what do you think about it. And yes, I'm aware Andrew Tate's fans who worship him, consider him God, who look up to him as father figure, elder brother, role model. Just chill, relax. I'm giving you research. You tell me what do you think. Okay, let's start. The first one, if you go through chronological sequence, his rise to fame, he had a kickboxing career in small regional outlets where they give world champion, world champion. They can have a small organization and say world champion. Okay. So he was a kickboxer, legit. He became a controversial influencer, promoting his views on masculinity, gender roles. And those days, the internet was slightly relaxed, so he could get away by saying those bitches and put them in their place. And I humped and I've, pumped 10 females, and these bitches are this, that. Okay, fine, whatever. Until the Me Too movement and YouTube and all the social media started to take women's rights pretty seriously. So he was branded as a misogynist. In 2016, he had a Big Brother incident. He was kicked out of the Big Brother show after he hit a female with a belt. Okay. And then there were prior rape allegations from 2016, but later on they were dropped. By 2017, he used the pyramid structure to promote his videos. Anyone could take his videos, you could manipulate them, make it creative, and you would get into his point system and you would be part of his hierarchy. And yes, you could make money on his videos. So, because of which he exploded on Google, and he was even more searched than Donald Trump, which is, I'm giving him respect where respect is due. What he did is something just like Tai Lopez. He was a trendsetter. He did something nobody else did. Okay. He was on all the social media. However, he got too famous, too fast, too controversial, too much of noise. And because of which, because of his ideas on masculinity, relationships, and it encouraged young boys, young men, to kind of ill treat or, disrespect women. And there were some cases where they even, I want bitches, I want you girls to work under me and this and that. And so he got banned in multiple places. Okay, we know the story, and he made an apology. He even got banned on Twitter, but Elon Musk got him back because of free speech. Now, second one, which is the most important one, is the BRUV political party. All of a sudden, out of the blue, I don't know whether it was a joke or whether it's real, he has this Britain restoring underlining values. So a guy like him, who made money pimping other women and selling sex, he's going to help with underlining values in 2025. And he aims to disrupt UK's political establishment. Okay, I made a video on that, and I don't think he's ever going to get anywhere in UK politics simply because of how he talks and addresses women. Okay, it's see. Listen, if you have a daughter and someone says, "Put that bitch in her place," and she has to be under, and he denies saying this, but there is enough and more YouTubers who have unearthed his old videos and said, see, he did say it. So, but anyway, coming to his BRUV party, some of the policies are education. He'll make mandatory combat sports in school to promote discipline, which is a good thing. Cultural restoration, replacing modern art with statues of historical British figures. Okay, fine. That's fine. Immigration, advocating for strict control under national identity. Okay. Vague economic policies. He has a concrete plan for freedom and restoration, which, if you don't have any experience in economics or business in the sense running a country, running a brothel and running a sex trade is different from running a proper established business. I hope you have that much common sense to know when you're selling sex with females showing their private parts versus running a legit business. There are two different things. Yeah, he can do something on social media, but you're talking of a country. Remember this much. And if you're that comfortable of him running a country, and you can tell me, why don't you just imagine you having him as a head of the family? He is your head of the family. Your father, mother, brother, sister, everyone have to take his orders. Would you want a CEO or a role model like him? Okay. Still, yes. All the best to you. Okay. Next one is the legal troubles. He has a few which have been repeated itself to the point where it's now totally boring. Human trafficking, sexual misconduct. Tate, along with his brother, were arrested in December 2022 in Romania. With charges of human trafficking, sexual exploitation, and alleged traffic of minors. It has been ongoing. I don't know. This is one area where I'm actually, I hate to say this, but I'm on the side of Andrew Tate. If he was guilty, why not just bring the evidence and prove it? Why are you playing this game? So that clearly shows to me, at least, that he has made some very powerful enemies, who are related to the mafia. And remember one thing: why is he in Romania? Because Romania, you can get away with all this shit of, very relaxed rules. It's a very affordable and cheap place where an average guy can flaunt his wealth and do all this stuff on the internet, which is not regulated. You can have sexual videos. You can, have a business where you're getting vulnerable men to pay money to see girls' bobs and vagine and have sex chats. He can't do this, what he's doing in Romania. He can't do it in US. He can't do it in UK without actually getting very serious trouble. And it's an open challenge. For those of you who are in the UK and US, try having an online sex business, okay, and see what happens to you. And yeah, talk the way he's talking about women and bitches and this and that, how he's addressing women. You'll get into serious trouble in the West. That's why he's in Romania. And also, Romania is like a poor man's paradise to be rich. I didn't know this before until I found out from some of these internet rich guys who are rich on the internet. They go to Bali, they go to Thailand, they go to Romania and all these places. Why? Because they get more value for each dollar and they can show off. Okay, so Romanian arrest 2022. He was detained in Romania. Legal proceedings began with everything going up and down to the point where people are bored. And a trial which was supposed to be in December 2024 has been postponed due to insufficient evidence, where he put a video on X and laughed at everyone. UK extradition efforts. The UK seems to want to extradite Tate to face charges. It depends on the outcome of the Romanian legal proceedings. And this is one of the key reasons why I feel he says he wants to go to the West. I don't think he is going to go to the West, because if he does go, they're going to jump all over him. And remember, a lot of ministers and a lot of people who want to be famous. Well, if you manage to put Andrew Tate behind bars, you will be a OG of sorts for the anti-Andrew Tate establishment. Okay, now comes the US political influence. In 2017, he had a meeting with Donald Trump Jr. Okay, Tate met Jr. at the Trump Tower to start building up a relationship. He openly supported Trump. He aligns himself with the views of Trump on anti-political correctness, traditional masculinity, encouraging his followers, back Trump for the 2024 re-election. That is one of the reasons why Donald Trump supports him. And due to the political pressure from Trump's inner circle, US figures like Richard Grenell lobbied in Romania to ease Tate brothers' travel restrictions. I really, I'm not saying out of hate, I don't think he's going to travel to the West, because if he does, they're going to extradite him to UK and he's going to get jacked. And I'll tell you, even if he's in the US, he's going to have multiple court cases, unless, of course, Donald Trump does like what Joe Biden did and forgave his son, and now nobody can touch his son. That, in a very wild parallel universe, that can be possible, but I don't know why would Trump want to do that. Okay, see, one of the key reasons why Donald Trump would support Tate. Remember, Donald Trump is also not a charitable, loving, Sadguru type Jesus Christ. He'll support you only if he knows there is benefit. He's a businessman. Tate's massive circle of supporters, if it can help him, that'll be great. But Donald Trump is not going to stand for election again. I don't know why he won't want to help him. Okay, unless, of course, he's making some headlines so that the lost youth start supporting Donald Trump. Okay, with some suggesting that a strategic effort to maintain support with Tate's predominantly male following. Okay, now Tate's influence in the Manosphere, all these terms, the simp and alpha male and all that. Okay, Manosphere. Tate is a key figure in the Manosphere, a network promoting masculinity, anti-feminism, controversial views on gender. His influence in young men is significant. I'll tell you something which will shock you here. Huh? Just give me a few seconds. Programs like War Room. He runs a war room. He is accused of fostering exploitative attitudes towards women and reinforcing patriarchal beliefs. Okay. Let's forget all this. I'll give you actual examples. I want you to go through YouTube and search people who have gone to Andrew Tate's war room or war ship or war zone or whatever. There are people who are Muslims. There are people who are Christians. There are people, young men with money who really want a role model, and they have paid money. And as usual, there were many people who had high hopes. And then they realize this is all bullshit. This is not for me. There are some others who are like, yeah, it's worth the money, but it's not my kind of thing. There are some others who even told me that, yeah, I went, but there's too much of accountability stuff. And then there are others, there's too much of pressure. While there were some others who actually told me, this is not from my pocket. Apart from the war room, there are levels. Like maybe if you pay this extra, then you get into a premium, then you get a VIP, So those who paid the highest amounts, which can go anything from $5,000 to $50,000 to even more beyond one-to-one kind of coaching, it takes you into this private room where there are girls, in Romania, you can get many, and where they enjoy all the adult entertainment from alcohol, cigarettes to, the magic powder to everything else. Fine. You're an adult. You want to do all these things. It's totally fine. But I'll tell you where it is disturbing. I've had the luck, you could say, to speak to a few. The way they talk is, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. They don't talk like Andrew Tate, like, those bitches, you need to put them in their place and this and that. But their minds are so skewed. They are not actually looking for a girl. The way they tell me that they want a girl is like, some people tell me, oh, law, you're looking for a maid, a sexual maid, you're looking for a slave. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. The way they talk to me about women and the type of women they want, sometimes I actually have asked them, you want a female or you want a dog? Seriously, like, you know, reading what they write, that this is what they want. And these are like paid clients who sometimes ask me for my advice. It's very scary. It's very, very scary. You begin to think that these guys really need psychological or psychiatric help. And it sounds borderline like so psycho, like, old country for old men or something, no country for old men. You really think that they are borderline, like serial killers or serial rapists. The way they talk about women, I want the bitch to be locked up in the house. She should not talk to anyone. She should not call anyone. She should only cook when I ask her, make noise when I permit her, go out when I tell her, or she should not go out. She should fuck whenever I want. I'm not exaggerating all this. Huh? This is, I've read from online Reddit forums to, I've I've actually communicated with some of them. Like, they're not evil people, but the way they talk about girls whew, and then you begin to understand this dark side which was there in the psyche of some very disturbed young men. And I can assure you this much: all of them, their upbringing is totally fucked up. All of them who respect and worship Andrew Tate, their upbringing is totally fucked up. It's never normal. It's never a nice upbringing. They have problems with their mother. They have problems with their father. They have problems with their family. They have problems with society. They have problems with people. They consider, oh, these are losers. We are the alpha male. They are sigma. We are, all that bullshit, which is fine. I don't mind. Okay, you're a high achiever. You want to make big money. But when they talk about women, there is seriously a disturbing, very disturbing dark side, which I would tell you, you would be scared. Even if you have nothing got to do, you'll be like, fucking hell, this guy maybe. Sometimes when I read what these guys type in Reddit, I sometimes visualize they are even capable of, like, having this female, like, that Schindler's List, no? You might have a female who you beat and hit, that captain, that Nazi guy, beat and hit. And if you think of horror movies, maybe they'll even suffocate and kill you, then open your, the horror, cut open and intestine and this and that. They can actually do that. I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling you facts. Okay, this is how I feel when I read those Reddit forums, when I read those band websites, how these guys who are fans of Andrew Tate, this is the mentality that these people have. I'm not saying Andrew Tate promotes this, but you get what I'm saying. People always take one step more. They like to go extreme. You give them your finger, they'll take the whole bloody hand. And it's very normal for them to talk like this. Just imagine a guy who's in his 20s tells you, I want a bitch. Actually, 20-year-old telling me, I want a bitch who will lick my feet if I tell her, will open her legs when I ask her. She will cook, she will clean, and I can get any woman in the house. She doesn't have the right to open her mouth. She has to be my slave. I'll throw money. White guy. And he said, I want such an Asian woman. Do you think I can get one? So I'm telling you, this is the kind of mentality that his followers, some of his followers, not all, some of his followers have. Okay, moving on. So now the Romanian court proceedings, all of them want him jacked. They have been delayed. House restrictions have eased in 2024. UK, US legal actions. The UK has issued an arrest warrant for Andrew Tate. A Florida woman filed a lawsuit in 2025 accusing the Tates of coercion and defamation. I wouldn't say these females are saints. There are some females who Wouldn't mind having sex with you, have sex with you, don't mind the kinky stuff. And then if you pay the money, they'll say, oh, he tried to rape me, he tried to strangulate me, and all that bullshit. Okay. Then there is concerns over US involvement. UK officials warn that US political interference could undermine the legal proceedings. And final last 3 points. Tate's support for Trump. Throughout the battle, he has always supported him. He aligns himself with freedom of speech, masculinity, anti-woke views, even with the, what's his name, Elon Musk, and surprisingly, shockingly, Candace Owens endorses him. I'm very shocked to that. Candace Owens, I don't know what is wrong with her. She is, seriously, you need to hear it to believe it. She actually went, met him, even Valuetainment. He did it for views. He's a businessman. There's something wrong with all these people just for views. Some of them are ready to sell their soul to the devil. Okay, so Manosphere influence in politics. Tate's influence has been tied to a broader culture with political issues, especially those who are looking for masculinity. So the future. Now, last 2 points. 2025, Tate remains under investigation from UK and Romania. His travel is restricted, but pressure from US, like those figures from Richard Grenell, continues. The possibility of the brothers being extradited to UK for the alleged crimes is also a very strong possibility. Multiple countries, multiple legal systems, and political pressure, they view Tate as a threat to women and also to the justice system if he is given a free, get out of jail card. His relationship with Trump is kind of disturbing because he can, use it to get out without being just like, Biden also did it. I'm not saying Donald Trump is Biden forgave so many people and they cannot be touched. So they're actually using their political powers for the wrong reasons. And the BRUV party, although it's okay, people are talking about it, nobody understands the policies, economic policies, and obviously schools. I don't think a school would want Andrew Tate as a role model for their young boys and girls, and especially young men. I posted that video, that girl got killed because of bullying by boys. One boy who raped her, blackmailed her, and all. This will increase. Just mark my words. So, conclusion: Tate wants to create a political movement with the BRUV party to gain traction and gain attention, which he always loves. Trump and Tate, the relationship remains very strategic and is tied to political benefits, votes, and having more followers. And the Manosphere influence, Tate will continue having an impact on very vulnerable young men who want a gender role model. But the funny thing, here's the funny thing. It's so incredibly shocking that they are so biased that they will overlook the fact that he became rich because of the pimping business, because of selling sex, because of taking advantage of young men. He takes advantage of young men. That's how he makes money. And he sells courses, for goodness sake. He sells courses, Hustler University, this university, Tate University. Yeah, which billionaire does that? Yeah, come on. Anyway, you can only, like they say, take the horse to the water. You can't make it drink. You give them common sense and they still don't have. What can you do? Dig your own grave and you'll learn. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Good, bad, ugly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's me signing off. You guys take care.